I made a tote bag this weekend and I wasn't crazy about it, so I began to take it back apart. So at this point, I have the outside, which is my hand woven fabric. This piece is the one side has 3 pockets in it. Then this section is the base of the bag, and then again there's 3 pockets here. And now it's on the inside. I have a pocket on either side, and again this is the middle. So and the handles are on. That was a pretty easy thing to do. And so now it's time to put the sides together. I did it in the usual way, or what I think is the usual way, and it was too bulky. I didn't like it at all, and it shrunk the size of the bag too much. So I'm going with a very different approach this time. I have 2 scraps of the lining, and I'm going to come along here and I'm going to give it a little turn over here on the end. And we're just going to come along the inside and pin this in place so I know precisely where to sew. And here we are coming across the bottom. And then when we get to the top, I will fold this down like so, to where it's even with the edge, and I will sew about a 1/2 inch in on this whole thing. Now I'm gonna move this in a little bit. All right, so that's pretty simple. And basically what that's going to do is that I'll sew along the line here and then take it onto the other side and do a little whip stitch so that it's stuck in place like a regular binding. As a matter of fact, I'll probably go ahead and sew both sides together since it will be used as the binding. I'll do the same thing on this side, and then when it's time to sew the 2 sides together, it'll be a very simple, straightforward process. There won't be a lot of bulk in the seam because we'll just be sewing these 2 sides together. So I think that's a pretty simple approach. Basically, my little experiment showed me that the simpler choice really is the better one, especially when you've got this much bulk, because that's a lot of hand-woven cloth in there. And this piece especially, because it's woven with a lot of worsted weight and a lot of bulky cloth, bulky yarn, it's especially thick. And felted. It felted up really beautifully, but it's it's kind of a bear to get it through the sewing machine if it's not a little finer than that. And again, when you get to the end, you just give it a little turnover, and that's fine. So I'm going to get to the sewing machine and we're going to give it a little sew and then see if I can finish this bag. So what we'll do is we'll fold this over to this side. This is just basic binding, like you would bind a quilt. And then come along here and hand sew this together. And then that is how the finished edge looks. So let's do it on the other side. crash. It crashed right into the camera. Not everybody has room to pull out all the sewing equipment, a big table, an ironing board, and the whole 9 yards for a little project like this one. So here's an example of one way I make space. And that is, I put a cutting board over the range and cover it with an old towel. And then I just use that as my ironing board surface. And that makes it possible to go ahead and give a project a little iron without having to set up an ironing board, especially if you don't have room for the whole shabeel, the whole shebang. Now I'm going to come along here and just pin down this edge. And you can either sew this by machine or sew it by hand. It depends on what you prefer. It doesn't generally take very long to sew it by machine. And if you don't mind the stitches showing, then that's certainly the quicker way to go. But it is also really fun to see it done by hand. I'm going to consider this the back. There are 3 pockets, and they are lined with cotton. Okay, cotton in a coordinating fabric. By the way, these are pieces of cloth that I've woven. So this is a black piece, and then this is a very multicolor piece. On this side, you can see the same multicolor piece, but here, this is one of the edges of this cool cloth. Again, more 3 great cloth cell phones, whatever you want to put in there, it will go great. And then it's got this cool fringe across the front. And handles, cotton tool handles. So the exterior is 100% wool. There may be some silk and cashmere in here too, I don't remember. But there are 6 pockets. There are 6 pockets on the exterior. And then I'm going to turn it on the inside out so you can see what the inside looks like. So if it weren't for these little ears, this would be a reversible bag. And I guess if you don't mind the ears showing, then it is a reversible bag. So there's 1 pocket on this side and 1 pocket on this side. So it's a total of 8 pockets. Now, you can see that the handle goes all the way down, all the way back again. That means that the handle can't rip off. It is literally sewn into the structure of the bag. And if you've ever had a tote handle, if you've ever had a tote bag where the handle was threatening to come loose or unsewn or just didn't seem like it was very sturdy, then you know this is how to make a bag that's going to last forever. It's got a specific piece for the bottom. It's got nice square edges. And now, this is a little bit bigger than a purse size. I mean, this is a purse size. I would wear this as a purse size. But one of the things that I like to do with my purses is I have this interchangeable thing. I mean, I use this when I travel. I have it on my toiletries in one of these. And so what I wanted to know is if it would fit. Oh, and it does. It fits perfectly. Okay, so that's a really cool thing because this is a, let me just show you the brand name so that these are available on Amazon, so it's an easy thing to pick up. This is the large size. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4 pockets on this side, plus there must be something there to snip. Plus a pocket, a zipper pocket on this side, and then on the other side, there are 2 pockets there, 2 pockets here, and a bigger one and a bigger one, and then again the zip pocket, and then on the inside, well, everybody, say hi to the mister and the dog.
Off, off.
That's the dog.
Off.
The mister must be on the floor somewhere. All right. So something like this is really handy, and it snaps closed, so it'll come out to its full size. If you've got like a contact clamp solution or something like that in there, and it fits the bag beautifully. So I think I just created my new overnight minimalist travel bag because it's got a pocket for everything. So that is very exciting indeed. I am very happy with how it turned out. And I can't imagine a thing in my closet that this doesn't match. So that'll be a lot of fun. So there it is, made with woven fabric scraps. My new bag. Mm-hmm. I'm going to have to actually aim better than that to actually get you.
Love you.
Love you. How do you like my new bag?
It's absolutely beautiful.
Isn't
I
it?
love the inside.
I like the inside too.
It
Look,
just sparkles.
it fits.
Woo!
So you can put all your goodies in here and then just change this from bag to bag.
Yes.
But you really don't need it because it's already got
And you've got built-in bags.
pockets here,
Pockets.
3 pockets here, and
On
2
the
pockets
inside,
on the
yeah.
inside. Yeah. Yeah, and I like how the fabric on the inside blends really well with the cloth on the outside. Look at that.
It's really beautiful.
Look at that. It's almost like it was planned.
Did you use multicolored
Yeah,
thread?
this is a multicolored thread.
Wow,
Because
gosh.
it's completely
Yeah,
lost.
Yes,
You
yeah,
can't see
yeah,
where
just,
the stitching is.
yeah, it's just gone. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
There's a little bit of dog hair on it, but you know, everything from my house is going to have a little bit of Ella in it somewhere.
Well, yeah, it's felted in there.
It's felted in, yeah. A little bit of extra love from Ella.
Mm-hmm. That is really beautiful.
Yeah, I'm happy with it.
The fringe.
And the
Gosh.
funny thing is that this piece was a pillow in our Skoolie.
Oh, that's why it looks so familiar. Okay.
But because it had been in the Skoolie, it had faded. And when I cut it open and
Yes.
saw this bright side again, it had, on the other side, it had faded in the sunshine because it was in there for months and months and months.
Okay, yes.
And so it has a whole new life because it's,
Yeah.
it was in the Skoolie and it had sun damage, but when you turn it to the other side,
Mm-hmm.
it's all
Perfect.
beautiful again.
Gosh. It's really, really stunning right here.
Do you like the side with the fringe
Oh, very much
or
so.
the side without?
I like both.
Mm-hmm. That's a good answer.
I really like both because it gives such a variety.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And also the end, just to see the end, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. And that your little travel necessaire bag
Mm-hmm.
for all the little goodies fits perfectly in there.
Yeah.
Wow.
So even though it already has 6, 7, 8 pockets, here's like a whole another 20 or whatever.
Yeah.
Because this thing's insane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then these 2 zipper pouches, 11, 12, and then the pocket on the inside. So it's got 13 pockets in this.
Lots
so
of opportunity to lose.
You can
pencil.
completely over pocket yourself
Yes, you can have 3 pairs of scissors in there and not knowing
and
it.
not be able to find any of them.
Yeah. But you can have your reading glasses outside.
Oh yeah, and on my head.
And it's protected because
Yeah.
it's all soft and beautiful.
Well, and this will fit my cell phone,
Yeah.
I think. And it'll fit
Yes.
a chocolate bar,
Yes.
save strength to carry on. And keys.
Yes.
I mean-
Keys.
That's it. I love it.
It is really beautiful.
It might need just a little piece of jewelry or something, just a little bit of bling.
Mm.
Right there, maybe.
I think it
I
might-
think I shall consult my bling box
Okay.
and see if something wants to be on there.
Now, how much time do you have in it?
Well, considering it takes about 20 minutes to weave that much cloth.
Okay. So that's 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. That's 12, 14 hours just weaving.
Just in the cloth.
Yeah.
And then it took, because this is the first one I've done in years, it took
Yeah.
quite a while to do it. And then I didn't like how I put it together, so I came back and ripped it apart and came back and did it differently. So yeah, it could be simpler. It could be simpler, but
But
this is kind of fantastic.
yeah.